here on 5AA. We are now live on the Foodland Supermarkets Facebook and YouTube live stream, so jump on and say hi because it is a Wednesday. That means it's this guy.
Pasco, Pasco, can you turn it off and then can you turn it on again? Hey!
Richard Pasco, Adelaide tech guy in the studio. Hello.
Hello, Stacey.
Oh, I better turn your microphone
That's
on.
better. Hello,
There you
Stacey.
go.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Okay, well, straight off the bat, 8223 0000 is the number to call if you've got a question for Richard. And Rod in Walkerville was very quick off the mark. Hello, Rod.
G'day, how are you?
Good, how are you?
Hi, Rod.
Howdy.
Now, Rod, I spoke to you yesterday, so we'll just preempt this a bit. Now, you're moving house, aren't you, Rod?
We are.
We are, and you sold your house?
Yes, we certainly have.
Right, now you didn't talk to your internet service provider at all, did you?
No, we haven't. As far as shifting, we've had no communication with them.
However, it turns out that an internet service provider has cut you off, haven't they?
They certainly have.
And they've had no authority to do this at all, have they?
None from us at all.
Now, you run a business out at Walkerville.
We
and
do.
All your email addresses were cut off as well, weren't they?
That's right, personal and business.
Personal and business.
Hold on, can I ask a question? So, you've moved to another house?
No.
No.
No, not yet.
Oh,
That's not until later next week.
you're planning on moving.
That's right.
So, why has
So
your
we're still
internet been
moving.
cut off?
Well, I was just...
Isn't that a good question?
It's a great question. Now, Rod's been to this company a couple of times now. They're one of the big companies in Australia for this. And there is no real excuse. They say they'll get back to you, didn't they, Rod?
Yep, in the last 2 days, I've spent 8 hours on the phone. And last night we spent 3 hours trying to advise a new email address that our customers and suppliers and that could use so that we could actually communicate.
Oh.
So I think somebody's cut them off who does not have the authority to cut them off. And I think it's a big lesson for so many people out there, and it's a big lesson for the company, and I'm going to be taking it further with the company out there, that this sort of thing can't happen. Now, they've promised Rod, they've said you can have your emails back for 90 days, haven't they, Rod?
That's right, but the only one that we've got back is the business one.
Yeah.
But we can have that for 90 days and then they can't do anything more.
I don't understand. Sorry, am I missing something here? So they've told you they'll give you can have your email back for 90 days, but you still want to pay for their product. You're purchasing a product of them, which is the internet, and you still would like to be able to purchase that product off them, which is the internet. However, for some reason, they've cut you off, and now they're not allowing you to pay for a product you want?
That's exactly right. That's where this gets real, and Rod will be going to the Ombudsman about this.
What's their justification for turning it off?
They don't know. That's correct, isn't it, Rod? They really don't know this, do they? They don't know how it's happened, do they? You still there, Rod?
Reasons. Yeah, I am. Can you hear me?
Yeah, sorry, just say it again.
Yep. We were given 3 different reasons. One was that our internet had been withdrawn. Second one was it had been cancelled. And eventually, somebody said it's been ported, which is transferring to some other IP.
Some other provider without your permission.
That's right.
And no one else in your house has thought, they haven't done something without you knowing?
There's only 2 of us in the house and neither of us have done that. And this company's suggestion at one stage, or I've had it twice now from them, that maybe somebody else in the street is actually trying to, transfer to a different IP, but somehow or another, ours has been the one. So they suggest I go and talk to my neighbours. So
To
I asked
find
them,
out the mistake that they have made.
Yeah.
What a joke.
So which door do I knock on?
Yeah, well, you don't, Rod. It's the biggest
Exactly.
debacle. Now, you've run your business on that email address for how many years, Rod?
Oh, probably 14 years.
14 years, and you're going to lose that email address. They've said you can't have, you get it for 90 days back and you can't have it back.
Pretty good, hey?
What on? I'm still very confused. But I mean, I know all the facts. I understand they've turned your internet off without you asking for it. I don't know how that can happen though.
And that's the whole big issue, not just for me, but for anybody with this company.
Yeah.
How can they just cut you off at some unknown person's behest?
All right. Okay. So, Richard, if someone else is going through this or has gone through this, what's your
You've got to be
advice?
very proactive about this. Now, this is an exceptional thing that I'll be going to basically as far as I can go in Optus with this.
Yeah.
Right, sorry, I've just named the company out there. No, that's fine. So, because we haven't said anything wrong. All we've done is just go along and portray exactly what's happened for poor old Rod out at Walkerville. So it's a lesson for people that suddenly if your internet goes off, you lose your email address, you've got to be very proactive and quick to go along and make sure that everything is fine on your account. Now, when I saw him yesterday, we quizzed about, did somebody gain access to the account? No, because the passwords are there. On the account, you cannot even log into the account anymore. It's just been cut off. So I thought it was very interesting to get Rod on today just to explain to people that this sort of thing should not be happening.
No.
In 2024. They should have all got their act together by now. Because if you go in to buy, let's say, a mobile phone, you'll put through the ringer for the mobile phone to make sure it's actually Stacey Lee, that everything's done, or Richard Pascoe to make sure everything's done. But for some reason that nobody can properly explain, poor old Rod and his wife have had their internet cut off and their emails cut off through some mistake that nobody actually wants to say it's a mistake.
All right. Well, it's a good lesson out there for other people just to try and get onto it as quick as possible. It sounds like you're working with Rod to try and fix it for him. So that's good to know. Let's cover off on some other issues.
Thanks, Rod.
Thanks, Rod. Thanks for the call. 8223 is the number if you've got a question for Richard. Let's go to Nick in McGill. Hi, Nick.
Oh, hi. How you going?
Hi, Nick.
Hello, Richard. Every time I come on my computer, I've got a Norton 360, and I usually run it to see, if it's okay, that sort of thing.
Right.
And I've just did it now, and scanned, and it says the viruses and malware, no threats found. But a little thing popped up to say that it has so many digits, and that was wrong with it. And then that disappeared. Now another little window has popped up, and it says Norton on the top, got a big red dot with a cross in it, says attention required. And it's asking me, you must restart your computer to receive the most current update.
That's right. So turn your computer off, right?
Yes.
Go and have a cup of tea, a cup of coffee or a beer. Wait for half an hour, then come back and start it again. All right?
No worries.
It's just done a big update, Nick, and it's just having a bit of a hissy fit at the moment.
Oh, so nothing to worry about.
Nothing to worry about, Nick, all right?
Thank you. Thank you very much.
That's
Thanks,
okay.
Nick.
Thanks, Nick. Thanks for the call. There you go. Some of them are nice and easy to...
We like those ones.
We do like those
Makes
ones.
me look good.
All right, Helen is in Glenelg North and is on the phone. Hi, Helen.
Hi. Look, Richard, I'm with Double I Net, Telco, my husband and I I keep getting these messages through. We try to get I do a direct debit, unsuccessful, and would I please give them the credit card number and play over the phone? And I knew it wouldn't have been unsuccessful because, the money was there. And then every couple of weeks, or even a week, I get the same messages from these scoundrels. How can I get rid of them?
Yeah, you can. Your email is probably just with them at the moment, Helen. So for what I would be doing is I'll be logging on to your iiNet account, making sure that all your details are correct, not through a link in that email, and basically just ignore that email.
Yeah, well, they keep coming back, and when I rang Double iNet, they didn't seem very concerned about it.
They're not, Helen.
No.
It's an awful thing, Helen, but they're not concerned about it. You just got to worry that you've set it up so they get paid every month.
Yes,
and that's
correct.
all you need to worry about. So one of those comes through that says you should be paying it now. Just ignore it, Helen. All right?
Okay, thanks.
Thanks, Helen.
Bye.
Thanks for the call, Helen. 8223 is the number to call. If you've got a question for Adelaide tech guy Richard Pascoe, he's in the studio. Thanks to Harvey Norman Computers, your technology specialists. We'll take some more calls after this.
5AA Mornings with Matthew Pantelis.
Darcy at Greenwith on trucks.
No one's ever mentioned this before when it came to the mobile phone cameras, but trucks have a T-cam set up at Jeps Cross, and they see into the cab to see if you're wearing your seatbelt. That's why the cattle trucks have the big foil window visors and all that.
Matthew Pantelis.
You know, it looks like Dickie needs driving the truck.
Weekday mornings from 9 on 5AA. Always Adelaide.
Today I'm talking to Tracy, who is one of Arbor Vitae's many happy customers. Hi, Tracy.
Hello, Lee.
Tracy, when did you start taking Arbor Vitae and what for?
I'm a cake maker by trade and suffered with sore hands for years, which is a common issue for my fellow bakers. They know how debilitating it is. A friend suggested I tried Arbor Vitae, and I can't believe how well it's worked for me.
And what benefits have you noticed about Arbor Vitae?
It was after my second bottle that I noticed the difference. My pain has all but disappeared. It's like a magic potion. I'm able to work with no pain. No stretch of the truth. It's worked so well for me.
Well, it's wonderful how much of a positive impact Arbor Vitae's had on your life. Thank you for your time, Tracy. Arbor Vitae is an anti-inflammatory supplement and it's now on sale at Chemist Warehouse, Australia's cheapest chemist. So now you know where to go for a great price. Chemist Warehouse. For more information, visit arborvitae.com.au. And remember, always read the label and follow the directions for use.
Australia's leading manufacturer of wheels to the mining, civil and transport industries is Rimex. And now Rimex has a local certified workshop right here in Adelaide. Wheel repairs, testing and certification, custom wheel builds and a full range of spares and accessories. Rimex. Tyre supplier to the transport and civil industries, plus the Boto range of OTR tyres. Rimex. Better wheels, built strong with proven performance. Rimex. Call 707 88527 or visit rimex.com.au.
If you're packing up your family to travel across the land will treat you different in a Dave Benson caravan. There's never any roadworks when you're driving Aussie made, and you'll always find a park that's nestled safely in the shade. The magpies will stop swooping, the kangaroos give way. You won't see a single mosquito at the end of each perfect day. And if the coppers pull you over, they won't wreck your plans when you tell them you bought Aussie made from Dave Benson Caravans.
Handmade from Australian pork has to meet Australia's strict quality controls and standards. And while that means us farmers have to jump through hoops, I reckon the taste's worth it. So for true Australian quality ham, just pick a pack with a pink pork logo.
With more stores close to home and everyday low prices, great food lives at Foodland, the mighty South Aussies.
5AA Afternoons with Stacey Lee.
18 minutes past 3 here on 5AA, and we are in the middle of Tech Talk with Richard Pascoe, Adelaide tech guy in the studio. Thanks to Harvey Norman Computers, your technology specialists. Give us a call, 8223 0000, if you've got a question for Richard. And David in Athelston's on the phone. Hi, David.
Hello, Richard. How are you?
Good, David.
Just regarding your first caller and their internet service, I've always recommended my clients don't use the ISP as their email provider. Use somebody independent, so if you need to change ISPs, you're free.
I understand all that, David, and I do exactly the same thing for all my clients, but when they've been using it for all those years and they don't want to swap, you haven't got much choice.
That's not exactly true. You need to swap, or you need to create a secondary email and then migrate your clients over.
I understand. David, I understand everything you're saying.
And I agree it's not easy.
Yeah.
It's a real pain.
Thanks for the call, David. Appreciate it. That's David in Athelston. 8223 0000 if you've got a question for Richard. You can send us a text as well, 0448 08 1395. Andrew in Ridgehaven has done just that. I've got a quick question for Richard. Is there a problem with Optus Internet in the Tea Tree Gully area? We have so many dropouts. I'm talking about 8 to 9 times a week.
Not the first time I've heard it. Make sure that you restart your modem on there and keep complaining to Optus. for it. You know, people don't ever want to go along and complain when it drops out, but you should be complaining to Optus. And as I say, for everybody out there, you know, your modem you've got, once a week, turn it off. Give it a rest overnight and then turn it back on the next day. It's a cheap, dumb computer that needs to go along and reset its connection back to the exchange to make sure that you've got a decent internet connection.
All right. Give it a little rest.
Give it a rest.
That's actually probably good. Have some screen downtime as well.
No, when you go to bed, we don't want screen downtime. I would say, you were talking before about screens and children on there as well.
Yeah.
I was horrified to see there was a woman on the news about a week ago, had a little 4-year-old daughter, I think it's a daughter with them, and she's on the phone all the time and can't get her off the phone.
The 4-year-old?
4-year-old on the phone, screens, loves the phones all the time.
I know, well,
How
they all
about
love them.
she being a parent and take the phone off? I'll just say that.
I don't mind the idea, though, giving your modem an hour rest once a week. Put the phones down for an hour.
Put the phones down.
Once a week. That's good.
It's a good idea.
All right, well, we were talking about email addresses. There is another question about that. I'm with Big Pond Email, but I want to switch. I'm a Mac user. Is iCloud email okay, or should I get a Gmail?
I will be going to the Gmail account, making sure it's all locked down. For a start, make sure you turn on all the security features, and it's very easy to migrate all your email from Big Pond over to Gmail.
All right, there you go. 8223 0000 is the number to call. Guess what day it is?
Windows Update Day.
It's a day I celebrate.
Yes, no, it's not.
No, it's not. I have no idea.
So for people out there, make sure you go to your computers today. Check your Windows updates today. I love coming on and say it's Windows Update Day.
How often do they come around?
This is the big one every month.
Okay. Oh, once a month?
Once a month. Once a month, sorry. And everybody say it's always done automatically, Richard. No, it's not a lot of the time. Sometimes they stick and there are things that go wrong. So go in there and check and make sure all your updates are done.
Okay. Now, we were talking about scams earlier, and there's a fake invoice scam doing the rounds.
ACCC have sent out a report about the rise in fake invoice scams. Now, I've had a couple of clients who've suffered with this. You know, as well, there have been losses so far this year of $16 million. Now, scammers will target customers and businesses with a large invoice on there. The two that I've had which were still large to you and I, Stacey, one was for a bathroom renovation for $9,000 and the other one was for that was $16,000 for superannuation payments from a business. So what they do is they go along and they alter the invoice that has to be paid. And they go along and put another account number and another BSB number. And they've gone along and they've masked the email address, or there's an infection at the person sending it out. Comes to you, you go, well, I owe $16,000. I'll pay by the account number and BSB. And it goes straight to the scammers and straight overseas.
So it's a legitimate invoice. If you're an individual or a business and you've got work you've had to pay for or services you have to pay for, it is a legitimate invoice, but it's been intercepted and the bank details have been changed.
Have been altered.
So you know you've got a bill to pay.
Yeah.
You're just paying the bill as
doing
it's
the
come
right
in.
thing. Yep. But the point is that once you've paid that,
it's gone.
It's gone, because a couple of days later, the person you had to pay rings up and says, hey, Stacey, you haven't paid the bill yet. And you go, yes, I did. Too late, it's already gone. And the bank goes, well, we can't get the money back for you now, it's already gone.
So how do you prevent it?
I've got a standard policy, which all my clients I try and get to do, is if you've got to pay a large bill, you ring them up and you go, just checking your account number and your BSB. Every single time.
Okay.
I know it's a nuisance to go and call.
Easy.
But it's simple to go along and say, my BSB number's this, my account number's this. It matches.
It's not a nuisance if it's going to save you.
Exactly right. And when you get it where, and I've had this where they ring up and go, no, that's not our account number and BSB. You've got a bit of a problem at your end.
Yeah.
That needs to be fixed.
So at whose end would it be? It would be at the invoice, the person issuing the invoice. It would be at their end.
I hate to say it, I've never had a time where it's not at their end.
Right, okay.
So you've just got to go along and make sure. And if you ever suspect fraud, contact your bank immediately.
Yep.
To go along and do that.
Okay. Now, Windows 10.
It might not all be over yet for people. I know I've kept on saying it's October.
You have.
October 2025 was the end of Windows 10.
Yeah.
However, because so many people are complaining, Microsoft might do you the pleasure of extending it out for one more year at a cost of $61 US.
You got me excited, you built me up, and then you dropped me down.
Tore you down, I'm afraid.
So they're still...
Per computer.
Oh, my God. Can you do anything in life without being scammed or without being ripped off?
They're trying to just move everybody along to Windows 11. You know, and it's trying. If we can pick you up and move you off to Windows 11, it's fine. But
so
you
that
know,
was $60 what US?
$61 US. So it's going to be about $100 roughly.
Yep.
If you've got and you want to extend it for another year after that, it's going to be $122. So they're still trying to push you on, but for a lot of places, a lot of businesses out there who've got lots of computers out there.
Yeah.
You know, for it,
yeah.
You know, they might say, no, we're not happy with Windows 11. We just want to go along and stay on Windows 10 for a while. They will gladly pay it. There are lots of homeowners. We've had them ring up here and go,
yeah.
I spent $3,000-$4,000 on my Windows 10 computer.
Yeah.
That's fine. You can hang on to it, but there will be a cost so that you go along and get your updates that come down.
And are they just going to keep trailing you along, or will they be getting rid of Windows 10 at some point?
Windows 10 will start to run out of support. Now, it's normally no updates will come down. And then after about a year, software will go, you know, people like Google, let's say, will go, no, Google Chrome won't run properly on that machine. And it's like when I go and deal with people who are still on Windows 7 machines, that they can't access certain websites now, because it's all about security now. And security, as we know, with scams and everything that's going on around the world at the moment, is getting tighter and tighter.
Well, I guess it's I've got I had an old iPad. No, sorry.
Yeah.
Keep remembering things. Had an old iPad, really old one, and some of the apps that I had downloaded on the app just don't work anymore, and there's no updates for them, or the update isn't supported by that iPad because it's so old.
That's right. It was an old timer.
Just
Poor
stops
thing.
working. Yeah, it was.
So,
it was one of those. It had a button.
Oh, the button ones.
The button one.
No, they
it's
were
that
a great
old.
one. I still have an original iPad 1 at home that still works. Don't use it for anything. It's a novelty.
Yeah.
It's a novelty, but it still works.
All right, Richard, thank you.
Thanks, Stacey.
Thanks for your time.
No.
See you next week.
See you next week.
That's Richard Pascoe, Adelaide Tech Guy, in the studio every Wednesday taking your tech questions. 27 minutes past 3, time for news headlines, and then after that, I'm going to tell you how you can become a citizen scientist. Adelaide Uni needs your help.
When Adelaide needs to know. 5AA News.
Investigations continue into the death of a man at Welland this morning.
I've been here 14 years. It's the first time I've seen something like that.
Foreign Minister Penny Wong is pushing for an immediate ceasefire.
Live local.
A man with a knife has held up a pharmacy at Plimpton Park.
The sky was the limit in terms of our ambition.
Doctors are renewing a push for a sugar tax on soft drinks.
Local news and information first.
The next major event in SA is only 2.5 weeks away.
5AA News. Always Adelaide.
When you want a retractable door screen, you want uninterrupted views and natural ventilation combined with protection from insects. You want Phantom Screens. Our custom-made retractable door screens can be colour matched to your existing decor and span up to 7 metres wide. And they disappear out of sight when not in use. A screen that's there 1 minute, gone the next. From the hills to the coast and everywhere in between, let the fresh air in with Phantom Screens. Get inspired online at phantomscreens.com.au.
It's no surprise that Alfred James Funeral Homes is there for families in their time of need. They've been doing so for over 100 years. What may be surprising is the lengths they'll go to help you pay tribute to the life journey of your loved one. A song choice that's unconventional. A eulogy that's both heartwarming and hilarious. Oh, and launching their ashes into orbit on a SpaceX rocket. Pre-plan yours with us now. Alfred James Funeral Homes, honouring lives in extraordinary ways.
New Zealand. Spectacular, safe, friendly and the perfect getaway destination. Holiday Wonders offers the most value-packed 17-day fully inclusive Grand Pacific holiday package. Fly direct from Adelaide with Air New Zealand and tour both the North and South Islands with meals, accommodation and endless highlights. Enjoy over $1,000 per couple in bonus value and a $200 per person discount. Regular departures available from September 2024 to May 2025. holidaywonders.com.au.
If you need to fix your pipes, call Precise. Call Precise. If your toilet's boiling up, call Precise. Call Precise. Precise. If your lights aren't turning on, or your hot water is gone, or a plumber or an electrician, call Precise. Precise.
Precise Plumbing and Electrical. Call 1300 700 200. That's 1300 700 200. Precise Plumbing and Electrical. We're helping life flow.
For a plumber or an electrician, call Precise. Call Precise.
Living with diabetes? Ditch finger pricks with Freestyle Libre. Freestyle Libre is a small wearable sensor that monitors your glucose levels and trends and sends them straight to your phone. Instant up-to-date feedback. No finger pricks. How good is that? And you can trial Freestyle Libre for only $15. Just head to freestylelibre.com.au to find out how. T's and C's apply. Follow directions for use. Read warnings before purchase. Free yourself from finger pricks with Freestyle Libre.
For 40 years, Steinborner has been well worth the trip for a new, used or demo vehicle. Back in the day, Michael Steinborner opened Steinborner Holden with just 6 staff on a single site in Gawler. Now they have operations in Gawler, Clare and the Barossa Valley, employing and training around 100 staff, and continue to invest in local community groups with a focus on junior sports. Steinborner Automotive, celebrating 40 years of being well worth the trip for thousands of South Australians.
This is 5AA News, always Adelaide.
Good afternoon, Mel Usher with the latest news headlines. The hunt for the killer continues after the murder of a 21-year-old at Welland early this morning. Rail commuters will be impacted by strike action tomorrow. The group trying to save the Crown and Anchor are taking their campaign to Parliament House this afternoon. And in sport, Port will be without Jeremy Finlayson for this Saturday's game after his 3-match ban over that homophobic slur. The 5AA forecast, cloudy this afternoon, partly cloudy tomorrow 22. Right now it's 19. We'll have more news at 4 and as it happens on 5AA.
Live, local. This is 5AA, always Adelaide.
With more stores close to home and everyday low prices, great food lives at Foodland, the mighty South Aussies.
5AA Afternoons with Stacey Lee.
28 minutes to 4 here on 5AA, and there's a few more days of school to go before school holidays are around. So if you've got a child or a grandchild that you'll be looking after while the holidays are on, we might have something for them and you to do. The University of Adelaide needs your help. They're looking for citizen scientists. And Dr. Matthias Salomon is from the university and joins you now. Hello, Matthias. Hello, have I got you there?
Yeah, I'm here. Hello.
Yes. Hello, how are you?
I'm pretty good, and yourself?
Yeah, good. Okay, so you need some help from some citizen scientists across SA.
Yeah, that's correct. We just started a new research project trying to look into the concentration of PFAS chemicals in people's backyard gardenings. We met whole in Adelaide, and it would be very difficult to
Dr. Salomon, I'm really struggling with your phone line there. It's dropping in and out. Are you on speakerphone or anything at the moment?
No, I'm just on my regular phone.
Okay.
I just stepped outside. Maybe that helps improving it.
Okay, let's see how we go. It's sounding okay for the moment. All right, so you're asking, you want to check PFAS levels in people's backyards. Remind us what PFAS is.
So PFAS are a group of man-made molecules. They're increasingly used since the 1940s for a lot of different applications, such as water repellent coatings or anti-stick coatings, and they also got sort of popular through the news articles, through the use in firefighting foams. However, one characteristic that they have is that they are very stable and long-lived in the environment. So what this means is basically once they're out there, they're going to stay for a very long time and they can accumulate as well.
Okay. And so what exactly are you trying to work out?
Well, currently there's a bit of a research gap regarding the concentrations of PFAS and people's backyard gardening activities, specifically gardening and handling of soil, so eating your home-produced food could be a potential exposure pathway of PFAS, but we don't really know because there's no studies whatsoever focusing specifically on PFAS in gardening soil.
In backyard soil, okay. So what can the people of South Australia do to help you?
Well, we're looking to find 100 people, ideally evenly distributed across metropolitan Adelaide, that are willing to participate and to send us their soil samples. So as a first step, they would need to express the interest in participating. And a second step is that we select the people based on the suburb to get this even distribution. And selected participants will then receive a soil sampling kit, which will contain all the material they need, including a prepaid return satchel. So it comes at absolutely no cost to the participant. And after a couple of weeks, we will have the results analyzed, and if the participants wishes, then we can also send them the personal PFAS result via email.
Right, so for now, if someone wants to get involved and is happy to give you a sample of their backyard soil, they need to go online and register their interest?
Yes, exactly. And the easiest way to do it is to do an internet search for University of Adelaide and news. And you come to the news board of the university, and our PFAS research is currently the top article right there. And this will have all the information you need to participate.
Do you have to be careful with what type of soil you have? Is it like soil that's in the garden, soil in the veggie patch, soil in a pot plant? Is it a particular type?
Yeah, so specifically we're looking for gardening soil, so soil that is sort of handled regularly, let's put it that way. And basically just pick your most active gardening plot or your gardening space, and from there you can collect the soil sample and send it to us.
All right, and you'll send people everything they need, the package, the kit, the little bag, and the return envelope.
Yeah, exactly. So it might sound a bit complicated to start with, but it's pretty straightforward once the process has started and people receive their soil sampling kit, because it will have instructions and all the other material you need to have to send it back to us.
All right, well, there you go. Is there an age limit if someone's got some kids on school holidays and they think, I want to be a scientist? It's something cool for the kids to do.
So this research received ethics approval because we are sort of working with people here, and the university is very stringent here. So the age criteria is that participants need to be at least 18 years of age or older, and additionally located in one of the metropolitan suburbs around Adelaide. And again, on the news article of the university website, you will find a map sort of highlighting what suburbs are included.
All right, there you go. And so people at home don't have to worry about the suburbs that are included and aren't included. If they're interested, they just go to the Uni of Adelaide website, to the news section, and they register, and then you and your team will work out on the back end the suburbs and the distribution.
Yes.
Okay.
We will select them and then follow up by email.
Okay. Oh, sounds great. Thanks for your time.
Oh, lovely to be here. Thank you.
That's Dr. Matthias Salomon from the University of Adelaide. So as I say, if that sounds like something you might be interested in doing these school holidays, or you need someone who's over the age of 18 to help them, but I'm sure the kids would love it. Or if it sounds like something that you yourself would like to get involved in, donating a soil sample for science, get in touch. Uni of Adelaide News, search it in Google or whatever search bar you use. I'm not sure anyone uses Bing anymore, do they? Ask Jeeves is always my favourite. Remember Ask Jeeves? Uni of Adelaide News, and the PFAS article is the top one. And that's how you can help register your interest. It is 21 minutes to 4 here on 5AA. Well, there's a new program available for First Nations creatives here in South Australia, so I thought we should hear a little bit more about it. Joining you now is Leela Berry, the manager of the First Nations program at Carclew. Leela, good afternoon. Thanks for your time.
No worries. Thanks for having me.
So tell us about this program. What's it called and what is it?
Yeah, so the Emerging First Nations Creatives Program is a new offering that we've got. It's an 18-month professional development program for emerging creatives, First Nations mob aged between 18 and 30. And during 18 months, they're going to go through a whole range of different hands-on skills learning, mentorship, all upskilling to kind of give them the best start to their career.
Sounds full on. Is it a full time thing, or is it on weekends, or how would it work?
Yeah, so we're just, it's anticipated that those in the program will be working on their activity about 1 day a week, and we have designed it to be accessible to those that maybe work, either full-time or they might be studying, because we want it to be really accessible to those who are interested, but might have other things in their lives that they've got to manage. So we've tried to do our best to make it accessible and manageable for anyone of any background to be involved.
Yeah, great. And so who would be good for the program? You mentioned, someone with an idea. Do you need to have an idea of a musical piece or a performance or something in mind to apply?
If someone's a young creative, an artist who's already practicing in their art form, they might have a project that they would like to kind of see delivered during this, which, it could be something like creating a CD or putting on an event. But we are absolutely open to people of all different backgrounds. So as long as they're First Nations and they're interested in having a career in the arts, they're absolutely eligible to apply, and we can support them to kind of guide them through the process of thinking about what it is that they might want in their art career, because it is such a broad sector and there's so much that they could be involved in, that we can kind of help connect those dots for them.
Okay, and there's a bit of money involved as well, a grant for the successful applicants?
Yeah, so each successful applicant will be offered an honorarium for their time participating in the program, but they'll also be able to receive a $6,000 grant, which they can use to deliver their project or program. So that could be that, recording an EP in a studio, or spending some time with a mentor, or paying other artists to deliver an event or perform in a location of their choosing.
And where's the money coming from?
We are really lucky to be partnering with Art South Australia and Creative Australia for this one. So both have come on board to support us in Karkloo and the work that we do with First Nations young people in the state. So we're really grateful for that, and to be working with them on this project.
And the successful applicants will be in very good company. You've had some great First Nations artists come through this program. Looking at the list, Zachariah Fielding from Electric Fields, of course. 5AA listeners would have heard from him a couple of weeks ago when Eurovision when we announced that Electric Fields were going to Eurovision as Australia's entry. So that's exciting.
Yeah, we've been able to work with some really great First Nations artists through a variety of different Karkloo programs. So Zachariah is absolutely a favourite, and Marley Isabel as well, who won the Adelaide Fringe poster a few years back.
Yeah.
Everyone will be very familiar with her beautiful rainbow colourful artwork, and we're looking forward to kind of this program seeing the next iteration and next generation of creative arts leaders from South Australia.
Great. And so if there's someone out there thinking, oh, I need to apply for this, how can they do it?
Yes, so if you know anyone, or if you are someone who's interested in the program, please head to our website at karkloo.com.au, and you can find all the information about how to apply. Applications close on Sunday the 21st, so a few more weeks to go, but we absolutely welcome all applications from all eligible people, and they can also reach out to us if they need any support in applying.
Leela, thanks so much for your time.
Absolutely. Thanks so much for having me.
That's Leela Berry, the manager of the First Nations programs at Karkloo. So if that sounds like something you're interested in, details are on the Karkloo website. It is 16 minutes to 4 here on 5AA. This afternoon, just recapping, the main story here on 5AA this afternoon. Jeremy Finlayson, Port Adelaide player, has been handed a 3-match suspension by the AFL for his highly offensive and unprompted slur against an Essendon player. The AFL, as I say, has slapped him with a 3-week ban, rounds 5, 6 and 7. He will not be eligible to play. And the AFL's made it really clear in their statement that without the full and frank admissions, apologies and contrition that Jeremy Finlayson showed, the sanction would have included a longer suspension. So the AFL is giving him credit for coming forward, owning up to it, being honest about it, and showing contrition in regards to it. Now, as well as the 3-match suspension, he will have to undergo counselling, and he has to pay for that counselling himself. For me, I think the 3-week ban is probably about right for what happened, for what we don't know exactly what he said, but this is just, my perspective. I think 3 weeks is probably right for what he said and how quickly he came forward and his apologies and how apologetic that he has been. However, the AFL Players Association is saying it's inconsistent. They're saying Jeremy's words were unacceptable and they've got no place in our game or society. However, we have fundamental concerns about this and historical AFL outcomes that result in discrepancies when sanctioning players compared to officials. So clearly they're comparing this to the Clarkson saga of a couple of weeks ago. Now, it was different. His slur was a homophobe. Oh, no, not it. It is also a homophobic slur. He got a $20,000 fine and a suspended 2-match suspension. So he didn't actually serve out a suspension period. So I want to get your thoughts on it. 8223 0000. What do you think? Has Jeremy Finlayson been dudded, or do you think 3 weeks is about right? 8223 0000. We'll take your calls after this.
Problem? We have a Houston.
Houston, snap on goal!
Port Adelaide lethal leg Dan Houston joins David and Will each week on 5AA Breakfast, thanks to Barreau Hotels. For the perfect meal, visit the Bergenhead Tavern, Excelsior, or Lighthouse Wharf. You just know it's a Barreau Hotel.
Being an ex can be a good thing. The X in ex-service people stands for extraordinary assets. Reliable employees who make exceptional leaders and are extremely skilled. Exemplary workers with dedication and an excellent work ethic. Exactly what your organisation needs. Explore more at veteransemployment.gov.au. Authorised by the Australian Government, Canberra.
Looking into solar? Look into Exceed Solar. Long before Exceed Solar were a company, the owners were climbing on roofs all over South Australia, installing solar panels, inverters and batteries. Exceed Solar have seen it all, because they've done it all, literally. And because they're qualified electricians, not salespeople, they know firsthand what will give you the best possible results for many years to come. That's the big Exceed Solar difference. Exceed Solar, built on knowledge, not a hard sell.
Ray White, big name in real estate, but also the biggest name in business broking. What makes us big? Our people, like Brett Buckley and his team. MBA, lecturer, and multi-time SA Business Broker of the Year. Brett doesn't just read a P&L, he feels it. If you're selling or expanding your business, Brett can take your business apart and find you more money. And we're not talking small change. Go on, touch base with Brett. Search Ray White Business Sales SA.
Australia's leading manufacturer of wheels to the mining, civil and transport industries is Rimex. And now Rimex has a local certified workshop right here in Adelaide. Wheel repairs, testing and certification, custom wheel builds and a full range of spares and accessories. Rimex. Tyre supplier to the transport and civil industries, plus the Boto range of OTR tyres. Rimex. Better wheels, built strong with proven performance. Rimex. Call 707 88527 or visit rimex.com.au.
There's something exciting about firsts. The first day at school, your first job, your first love, first kiss, first time behind the wheel. Your first car. At North East Auto, we're excited about our own first, our first ever car sale. Running April 13th to 20th, we'll have unmissable bargains on new and used cars, utes and SUVs. It'll be a first you won't forget. North East Auto's first ever car sale.
LMPD 243924.
At SEW Eurodrive, we understand things don't just go wrong between 9 and 5. Our renowned emergency breakdown service ensures constant motion of production lines and ancillary equipment 24/7. Visit sew-eurodrive.com.au.
What starts with A and ends with E? Supplements for you and me.
Other Vitae health supplements are now available at Chemist Warehouse for just $49.99 a bottle. You save over $19 a bottle at Chemist Warehouse.
With more stores close to home and everyday low prices, great food lives at Foodland, the mighty South Aussies.
5AA Afternoons with Stacey Lee.
It's 10 to 4 here on 5AA. After 4, Rowie and Timmy G with the sports show, and it's going to be a big one, I think, this afternoon, Timmy. He's in the studio, Foodland Supermarkets Facebook and YouTube live stream. Jump on, have a look. Hello.
Wow, that was almost like the McDonald's to all beef patties. That was amazing. You probably would have won that last week on breakfast.
Yeah.
Well played. Yeah, it'll be a big show, and obviously that penalty has now been handed down for Jeremy. I'm actually pleased that we've got a result and that we can start to move on. But I think it's what the AFL have attempted to do here is put that out there to say, okay, here's the line. And if you step over that, that's what's going to be minimum. So, which I think, okay, you've done that. Where they probably bring themselves undone is like with the inconsistencies. And there's already a reaction from the AFLPA to say they're not happy with the way they treat players in this area of vilification and the way they've treated coaches. Now, we know the recent one is the Clarkson example, where he got a suspended 2 games and 20 grand fine. I think they now know they got that wrong. I think they should have gone, you know what? Okay, if this is the line that you're talking about with Jeremy, then there's two games that should have been served by the coach.
And, it gets a little bit confusing when you say the AFL's handed down a suspended suspension. But what it was, a 2-game suspension, which is like if you're in a court, it's a suspended sentence. You don't have to serve it. So he got a 2-game suspension, but he didn't actually have to be suspended.
So if you want to create a response to vilification, and that's the bar you want to set, you just need to set it every time. And unfortunately, they haven't done this in this occasion with the coach and the player. So the AFLPA not happy with that. We'll try and get somebody on about that. We've got their statement that's already been released. We'll have Chris Davies on he's the head of football at Port Adelaide, to finalise the Finlayson one and where to from here. And then we'll have Jimmy Bartell on as well. And Jimmy covers all things AFL, but I'm sure he'll give us a view on it as well. And see what happens from this moment onwards.
What's your perspective? 3-week suspension for Jeremy Finlayson. Did you think that's too harsh, too soft?
I estimated on the show that it would land somewhere between Tex Walker and somewhere between the Clarkson one, because I think we know the Clarkson one was way too lenient.
Yep.
So I figured it would land somewhere. I was thinking it would probably land between 3 and 4, and that's where it's landed. It probably doesn't excuse the extremity, and that's what they've got to get more consistent on when they're setting the bar on something. This is what they want to do. Set the bar, but make sure you get some consistency around it. And that's one of the things that they're probably accused of in a lot of areas, and especially MRO has come under fire, when that gets sent to the tribunal and the like, and the Twitter outrage, of course, and that's what I think Twitter's for, isn't it? Or X.
That's the only thing it's for these days, isn't it?
But some of the comments, there's some quite wily comments as well, where one person said, okay, he got 3 games suspension for playing, but can he coach? And referring to the Clarkson one. So
that's quite funny.
Yes, exactly. And
and this is the problem, right? Because the AFL, I said it the other day to Rowie, but the AFL sees itself as the court of law now. They and
they do.
They do. They're handing down sentences, and when a court and a judge and a magistrate get it wrong, the community is outraged, and there's an appeal and there's a review. So the AFL then needs to be held to those standards. If they're setting themselves up on this pedestal, then they need to be able to take it, and they need to be able to review.
And there was another, I'll just say tongue-in-cheek comment on X, which went down the path of, okay, so you're not allowed to do this, you're not allowed to do that, but what about the illicit drug policy? Strike 1, 2, 3, 4, how many do we want?
Yeah.
So there's, again, another inconsistency that they're saying, hey, if you're going to set rules and standards on the right, you've got to be consistent and make sure that you play that out. So, look, from Jeremy's point of view, showed the remorse and all the rest of it. But I know it's one of those moments where I reckon the minute he said it, he would have loved to have catched it and put it straight back in his mouth.
Yep.
And he's just got to see that out now, and he'll be back within a month, and hopefully back to playing some good footy.
Yep. All right, looking forward to hearing
it. Thank you, lesson learned.
Yes. Looking forward to hearing the discussion on the Sports Show After 4, Timmy.
Looking forward to your next 5 minutes.
Thank you. It's going to be good. It is going to be good. See ya. Timmy G and Rowie on with you after 4, and it's going to be a good 5 minutes because I'm getting your thoughts on the Jeremy Finlayson 3-match suspension. Helen in Glenelg North's on the phone. Hello, Helen.
Hi, Stacey. I think it's quite ridiculous. It should have been a suspended sentence and a little fine.
Mm-hmm.
And that's it. Leave it at that.
Suspended sentence like Alistair Clarkson?
Yes, exactly. And as Jimmy said, be consistent.
Yes, it's the consistency, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
Mm-hmm.
And he owned up straight away. He didn't mean it. The young man's got a lot on his plate. It's quite ridiculous. It's for his mental state, he should still be playing.
Mm-hmm.
Suspended. Okay.
There you go. Thank you for your thoughts. Appreciate it. That's Helen in Glenelg North. 8223 0000 is the number to have your say. Let's go to Colin in Renmark. Hi, Colin.
Hi, Stacey. I think it's quite
Ooh, I'm struggling to hear you. Are you?
Yeah, I'm here. I'm just look, I just want to put forward my thoughts on the whole scenario with Jeremy. I'm an old bloke. I've played football for 30, 40 years, and we've all copped a lot, and even like back in the days there was only one umpire, and he can get smacked, almost his jaw broken, and nothing is done. Now, Jeremy's owned up to this. I think the AFL need to get their head together and just realise there's a war going on in another place, and we need to concentrate on those people and not try to rub out, someone that, I won't name the name, but he apparently it was a one-word comment, and I'll guess what it was. Deal with it.
Yeah, but Colin, if it's not allowed on the field, it's not really good in society either, so I don't want you to say it on my show, please.
Okay, yeah, righto. So you've never played football in your life, you'd never had your hair pulled, you'd never been told you're a...
How do you know I've never played football?
No, well, I have, and I've been told a lot of things.
Yeah.
And things about my mum.
Yeah.
And that's all about getting you off your game. We're soft. The AFL should... all the money they're spending on this situation, why don't they send that down to people that are dying in the war? Yeah,
there you go. I'm not sure that's quite the role of the AFL to get involved in wars, but anyway, they're your thoughts. Colin in Renmark there, 8223 0000 is the number to call. You won't be talking to me, though. You'll be talking to Rowie and Timmy G because they're on with the Sports Show After 4, and I think it is going to be fiery. I'm looking forward to it. I hope you can join the conversation with them. I'll talk to you tomorrow.
Hi, my name's Susan.
Hi, my name's Tom.
Hi, it's Sam, and I listen to 5AA on the 5AA player.
The Player app is just easy to use. Pop it in my pocket when I go for a walk.
It's clear, the quality's great.
I listen to it when I'm walking. I'm able to listen to it in the car.
I'll sync the Player